You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Good morning. Today is the 19th day inside the month of September 2025. We will bring to you this edition of the program this morning. My name is Al-Hassan Kouma.
And Mina Mebel Kaba. Good morning. TGIF, Al-Hassan, it's Friday, and I see you're all excited because it's Friday.
Yeah, it feels good every Friday. You know, for the another studio, because it's been a hectic week so far, starting from Monday coming to Friday. And of course, when you reach at this particular moment on Friday, because we hope for go to the weekend, we can be so much excited. My pleasure for there this morning.
All right, well, it's a Friday, and of course, then plenty people can look forward to Fridays, because at that time, plenty people can get time for rest on Friday evening for meet up the weekend. For us here, it's a mixed bag, because we know the rest, although at times we can come on air, but we always in at the background for ensure say we post content and we go keep on going even during the weekends. Today is Friday, the 19th day of September 2025, and inside this edition of the breakfast show today, we've been telling early this week we've been dealing with the issue on the suspension of a Supreme Court judge. Say we go get for a look at this issue. Well, today we can look at this issue on the suspension of this particular Supreme Court judge. We this week we've been see letter been come out of the office of the president. We've been say with advice from the Judicial Legal Council them for suspend them. The presidents don't suspend them, but a lot of concerns don't come out from pressure groups where they deal with issues we get for do with human rights and other things them were related to this particular matter. We make inside this edition of the breakfast show today, we can hear you from the Lawyers Society, when one of the groups them where they call for the reinstatement of Justice Halloway, and also for the Judiciary investigates the accusations them and allegations them will be make against the Chief Justice when our Justice come back commander. All of that we can look at the program this morning. We go also hear from the Judiciary regarding all the issues here we don't come up, and we go talk to Chadi again, where yesterday we see them said don't pull a position regarding this same matter. We get to do with the suspension of a Supreme Court judge. We can look at the issue in the end also na this edition of the breakfast show. If una came member September, Liberty TV be interview one journalist who be the work for the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation SLBC, where na Thoronka in matter we been get them being sakampa in work na the SLBC, because according to the SLBC, it been the work with them it been post something on social media where get for do with President Bio. Well, after we them been sack we been talk to that same day for hearing from waiting a be in own matter where it feels say it gets with the SLBC. A lot of issues then be exposed that same day where then be sakam. From that time to now, a new development don't take place where we see the women in the media Sierra Leone when a WIMSAL don't decide for work with one human rights body for take a petition on in dismissal case go na the ECOWAS Court of Justice. That's not the latest issue where they happen with Umu Thoronka in case, because Umu make allegations them of harassment we say be done they get over the years, even before then the second from in supervisor. We make today in this edition we they can call Istina Taylor, when are the president for women in the media, for tell we about this new development regarding Umu in dismissal from the SLBC. And we they try forget Istina Taylor now on the line. Follow we hear from waiting WIMSAL exactly once from this matter we make them don't decide for work with a human rights body. We don't say then they take this particular issue, they don't petition them now, they take them to the ECOWAS Court of Justice for look further into Umu in allegations and we be make with them being sacked and come out of the SLBC. On the phone we get Istina Taylor, when are the president for women in the media Sierra Leone, WIMSAL. Good morning Istina, and welcome to the breakfast show.
Thank you very much and good morning, Mabel.
Like I just don't tell we viewers them this morning, we see early this week WIMSAL been gets a press conference. Also wanna inform the media and salon say WIMSAL together with a human rights body don't decide for take a petition for submitting to the ECOWAS Court of Justice regarding Umu Thoronka in dismissal from the SLBC after we been come public and lay complaints say then second because it been post something on social media we get for do with President Bio and in a been staff na the SLBC, and also there were allegations of harassment from in supervisor. From that same to now we've been cover this matter. Waiting be done they happen internally in a salon before na don't decide now for go ECOWAS courts.
Well, the first thing where we've been do when we get that complaint day, we've been reach out to the one them way responsible, like forget from the inside, because when you get such kind complaint, you get for your resource from the person we call the station manager, and the confirm say yes, well this now order from national. So me being get for as the president of WIMSAL, and after we discuss, maybe get for call I call for a meeting with the executive and we decide for okay, well let's seek for other options then. The first thing what we do, we reach out to the minister and all and explain to them exactly what's in your happen. Not to normal say they sack Umu, but online people then they threaten Umu in life. Then say there's abusa ide, then go kill her, then go where they run a net, then go light fire param, and very stupid. If they use all kind of word online and people then go left normal for tell the story, but in order for leave for tell the story, then they begin threatening and back say then get for arrest them. So it wanna away. It goes somewhere else. So after that one day, where it wanna we go another part inside the country, the threatening marks continue. People then they call on a WhatsApp, and then they threaten them. So all of this we didn't get for tell the you are where they in charge, and we tell them, and they say Ingo do something about that in terms of the threat force and the cyberbullying. They say go bring the police inside for make the police they know say. This don't happen, and because the people that will be the troll online at TikTok, their name then did it. So we been they expect now for let they arrest, let they make arrest of them and make a public show of them saying now they wire the cyber bully this person, and then get the cyber unit at the police. So we they expect all of them and but we don't been get that at all. And when we pull a press release, the institution SLBC then say pull a counter press release denying that Umu no they work for them. Then say it been work for them I think in 2018 for 4 months or more than that, and after that Umu no ever work as a permanent contract staff. Umu just been like where he get marketing and work, so like where he go out to get marketing work kick out and so and then give out in the column they give in percentage, but that's not true. Umu has been working for them. If Umu not been a work for them, why then call them and can say in over the phone say he go for go cover presidential town hall, and then later on he post na in TikTok Umunet for say famu de ona kushe o that this time happens today at the presidential town hall. This woman be one for ask question. But while he try for ask question, he been get a lot of interruption. And look how una watch the video, and that video they not to camera video, na phone video. He say una watch the video. He say look person there, Godman there, Obayanda. How then go able for how this woman go able for asking question. Now then they own are the major thing and the way say. So why una second for is not to staff. You see the contradiction. This person, that staff, he don't cover this program, he doing reports na radio, but he using phone again as a citizen of Sierra Leone. He post na in TikTok Umunet page. And then second for them. Then pull this press release denying, say this person not they work for them. So this person not get contracts and all. And she has a contract.
So why
this person don't be working from 2014? Yes, go ahead, Mabel.
Why Suna been raising concern in the initially? Because this story like be done the fade na the media underground. We not be no say una be done the work underground till we don't reach your point. Where WIMSAL don't join an organization where they work on human rights for take the matter to the ECOWAS court. Is it that una exhaust every other option internally, una not be able for seek justice for we make una don't decide for going to the ECOWAS courts for justice?
So we firstly been called on Sludge during the 2024 Sludge General the AGM we can get. We remind them that this issue pending and this is a serious issue. For let somebody go through search and then the person get for self-exile, and this person don't go through a lot of discrimination and retaliation even before this sacking. So it's a ball they think Sludge, we remind them of that during the AGM, and Sludge make a promise that then go push forward for let IMC take this. So IMC start a tribunal because IMC are the body where they investigate, where they also they make recommendation or where they give judgment or verdict, then get that mandate they for do that mandate. So we depend on them. 2024 November, I think was the first time where IMC called the first hearing. They set up a tribunal, and I think one pan the people there been there way na part of the one them where they part of the tribunal. We legal representative where they represents when Paul Kamara been the part and because now he represents since self-exile in order at the country. They do the first hearing, SLBC was present, but they not be get legal representative, so nobody not been talk on them behalf. The second hearing was December 10, 2024. Now free tongue here. SLBC wasn't present, no legal representation for them was present. So they've been promised, say, based on the fact that they're not sure up, then go give a default judgment. But we not been hearing from them from December 2024. So we waited because around them period and they we don't look at another options than what we for do. And also we be they look forward to them calling us and we remember Umutaonka calling us into a meeting, say, okay, what is this? What is that? And at that initial stage when this thing happened, already be want for let the reinstate and back nine job. But then they no more even once. But out of the threat and the waiting he get for self-exile, that particular thing the way happen. Later, Umu just be want for make they apologize to them publicly. Because imagine you work from 2014 to 2024, then deny you. And then if you want let they apologize to and let them compensate them for long years them way don't work as a contract staff. Any trial, imagine you don't work over 14 or 10 years as a contract staff. They're not ever permanent, but people that won't all they work, then permanent. He go university, he do in degree course now Unimark. It open say once he do in degree course, he go get a permanent contract at SLBC. He not get them.
So Estina, you earlier mentioned about the decision for reach out to the station manager for SLBC. But wait till tell me that the sacking for Umu Toonka now be a national decision. Was it like the decision not be come out from the station manager, or it come from order from the above?
Well, let's take me for example now. I'm at the head. And if now me not the only person we get right for tell somebody say we know the sack now we sack because we know get waiting. I mean the person will tell somebody say, well, this is what you do and this is the action we're going to take. So and from the Senate in call, according to remember Senator Tonka tell him say this na message from national, and we call you for tell you say over the phone, we call you for tell you say we don't sack you from the work they do na SLBC, so you know to contract start again for the SLBC. So me not know exactly who that it come out from, but now from Senator Ronka, you get me point.
So at this stage, the case they go na the ECOWAS Court of Justice. Waiting exactly when they present to them, because there are several allegations we will be make against a supervisor at that time. So waiting exactly when they carry at the ECOWAS Court.
Well, with the first thing, the wrongful dismissal. It's against the human rights waiting. It's a human rights violation. And we know say if somebody they work for you, Mabel, if somebody they work now on a rate now on a station, and that person they on a monthly basis should they give them like 100 leons, even if you not sign documents with them. But in the case in get documents where they sign and give them, even if you not sign documents with that person, they once you not drive after 6 months, that person that you stop. So you cannot call the person over the phone. Even if the person do something wrong, you get for query, you get for write and query letters. There are procedures in sacking somebody, but you cannot sack somebody over the phone. It was a wrongful dismissal, and Adani make with the file. And secondly, sexual harassment. And this lady go through sexual harassment and retaliation for years. It reports to the head by then, and the head been scolded. The said station manager will be dead by then. He scolded them, say this is wrong. What you do so they wrong. But waiting maybe they expect the SLBC for do further. Now for sack the person immediately. Sexual harassment is a serious thing. Because the harass them and when the lady come out and speak, he pull on the program, he only lady in stipend for over 5 months. So we file because we want justice for them. We want make it get the justice where it deserves. So you're able to return back to Ghana country. Usai Ibon, Usai Ino. You know, easy for self-exile. For go na society, then you go to struggle. All the life where this lady know, they don't pull them from them.
So at this stage, you already don't file or on a day in the preparation for file this matter?
We have filed already.
All right, many thanks for the updates. We gonna get you once in a while for get updates on what's to happen with Umu Thoronka in case. Thank you for you talk to me this morning.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, that's now is Tina Taylor, the president for Women in the Media Sierra Leone, WIMSAL, where be the talk for Seka Umu Thoronka, where be the work with the SLBC, where they been dismissed because it been post something on social media from one of the town hall meeting them where the Ministry of Information can organize. If you remember that town hall meeting will be happen. Now been to money, usai the president's been there, usai one lady been in up for talk where then we get some harassment to happen inside that particular hall day. Well, that scene the Omo been post at that time, where according to the SLBC, it not been supposed for the one because in a staff na SLBC and then me dismiss them because it been make comments on that particular issue there and post on a social media, and also it been gets allegations of harassment where we make against in supervisor. We make all Lentinia WIMSAL say they don't exhaust internally. Now then they move the matter go now the ECOWAS court for let Umu go get justice because they did in self-exile as we did talk, and they want to make it come back home as a free person. Well, we're going to follow up that matter day as the updates they come. We're going to give una and we tell una in this edition of the breakfast show. You say for the watch, okay, ask your comments, make your comments and ask questions regarding the thing that we will deal with in the program this morning. We take a look at the issue we get for do with the suspension of judge now the Supreme Court of Sierra Leone. We've been beginning this issue on the phone earlier this week, but today we did discuss them and look into them. Fine one we make now the studio this morning for can help we talk on this. I want to welcome the official spokesperson for the Judiciary of Sierra Leone, Wena Moses Camara. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show.
Yeah, good morning, Mabel.
And also in the studio this morning, we get Claude Bame Davis, we in the PRO for the Lawyers Society. Then they call for the reinstatement of Justice Halloway and also for the investigation being done for SECA, the allegations that we make against the Chief Justice. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show.
Good morning, Mabel. Good morning, Liberty Online TV. All
right, later we'll go for talk to Abdul Fatoman at the program. Instead, yesterday we see in organization don't pull a release regarding this issue. But let me just start the conversation and we go start with you from the Judiciary, Moses. This week, Ali, we been start the conversation we get to do with Justice Halloway now the Supreme Court in suspension letter where we see now the media from the office of the president. But before we can look at Usai we reach for get a suspension of a Supreme Court judge, let me just know first from the Judiciary. This particular issue now one way we've been breaking at the media. Also a lot of allegations been there against the Chief Justice from Justice Halloway. From your knowledge on this matter, explain to the viewers them waiting you know say be done they happen regarding Justice Halloway and that of the Chief Justice when a justice come back, Amanda. Waiting me don't they go on before then put her on suspension?
Well, actually, thank you. The Judiciary, most of we see Justice Halloway in letter on social media. That is the fact. Let me see on social media outlining various issues them. We are in the alleged say the Honorable Chief Justice stop him from a field, stop him from a medical, stop him from a vehicle, and ABC and D. That was something we saw on social media, and we also understand that it take responsibility of that particular document, which was on social media because it was signed by him. And he also do other letters them. You understand? The Chief Justice at that time was away when this letter was making rounds on social media and began vacation, and there was an acting Chief Justice, and the CJ came then look at whether there is a procedure if Justice Halloway be exhaust the procedure, just like when you ask Judicial, say, una don't exhaust the internal procedures before you take certain things out. That is the question we feel say we for respond to. You understand? The Chief Justice, by virtue of Section 120, subsection 1, constitutionally say is the head of the judiciary. And if you watch at that provision, instead the judicial power is on the judiciary and the Chief Justice being the head. And the Chief Justice is the administrative head of the judiciary. And that you get by virtue of Section 140, subsection 1. If you read that, they say there should be an established Judicial and Legal Service Commission. And the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, of which the Chief Justice is the chairman, but the principal constitutional mandate, by virtue of the provision we are referenced, now for advise the Chief Justice on administrative functions. You understand? And if you watch Section 138 of the Constitution, and they tell you, say, if you get any issue with the Chief Justice, there's a petition you have to do to the President. Now, looking at the things here where we don't lay, the foundation, and these are constitutional provisions. not legal say na bylaws or whatsoever. They are constitutional provisions. One, the head of the judiciary by virtue of section 120 subsection 1 na the chief justice. And two, section 140 subsection 1, they say the Judicial and Legal Service Commission for advise the chief justice on an administrative function. And 138, they tell you, say, the judiciary, the chief justice, if you get any complaint or any issue with the chief justice, you they come through petition to the president. Within foundations there too, we see a letter sent on social media. And in the letter, the Honorable Justice say, in go for a fiel, the accountant say, talk to the chief justice. Then in go for a allowance, so the master say he come for the field and still and call the master. Then talk with the master in the letter, then say, well, talk to the chief justice. And go to the accountant for a allowance, then say, talk to the chief justice. And nothing all day where they should say, he and the chief justice get one-on-one conversation. It can happen to anybody. I'm staff of the judiciary, and the chief justice has an open policy. I mean, they ask a question related to me. My lord, if there is anything that I have, I will go ask them. If I not ask them directly, what I will do, I will write a letter to Ram. You understand? And that I will tell you, them procedures then they. That engagement, there was nothing like internal engagement when in get them things then they when they say talk to the chief justice. Okay.
Engagement's not been there where he ask for essential supplies where we don't they get, where then stop them from getting them because then still go ask. But on a normal day, na the judiciary, how the essential supplies here they happen for any other judge, if not Justice Halloway?
When we get them supplies there and all other facilities, when they come, the chief justice they approved. You understand? And they approve. And when he approve, then he circulates them the master or the accountant, they can disburse them. You understand? Now, we don't know, and that is where we can see, we don't know why they refer to the Chief Justice. And instead, now you will go and ask the Chief Justice, whether in a letter or not, now you say, let them all me fiel, now you say, let them all this me allowance, waiting we say is a letter. So, the stand of the CJ is that that communication was a wrongful approach. You understand? It was a wrongful approach. In my own view, as a staff, I've written letters to so many chief justices there, raising concern, and most times they can address her, and most times they can say, "Oh, sorry, maybe skip me." Justice Allan B will handle that part of it. But he went on social media. So now as it is, we cannot say whether those allegations on his letter are true or not, because no frantic effort by him was made to approach the Honorable Chief Justice. So
this issue of approach, where for you, the Chief Justice say before that letter they become public, Justice Halloway not ever where they ask for essential services where they not give because they say if I go to the Chief Justice, they not ever get the conversation. It don't ever happen before where any judge go for the essential service where they're entitled to, they ask them for go to the Chief Justice. It don't ever happen before.
Obviously, you get vehicle issue. The accountant gets two roles when they play. Other institution, you have management accountant. Then you get the accountant. The management accountant in the watch, waiting they happen, waiting at the money way available, then he advise the accountant on expenditure. And there are certain times when requests are made. You understand? The Chief Justice, they say, okay, let me engage the accountant. Sometimes this money we get ABC and B for do. It happens also in your institution. With the little amount, you see how they prioritize. So there are certain times a judge of the High Court can ask, a judge of the Supreme Court can ask. But sometimes if a judge of the High Court asks for tire, but that judge they in the provinces, you understand, and a judge in the Supreme Court asks for tire, but that judge there, you will find out say because of the terrain where the judge in the provinces they ask for and the available amount, the Chief Justice can take a decision. Say, you know, waiting, let this judge wait first, but that other judge, let we able give because you know if in the provinces, like the judge in McKinney, for instance, they cover Kabbalah. The judge in McKinney, the judge in Kono, they cover Mabuka. So there's situations and they happen. We self can ask. I will give you an instance. There was a time when we camera no function. You understand? We get situation where the CJ say, no, we get small money we come. What will they do? For this program, on against camera. You understand? But on this, let we use this for address ABC and D for print certain documents. So it is happening, and it is not a secret in any governmental institution.
So, Moses, you feel saying that the wrong approach the Supreme Court judge do for, you know, write that particular letter, because earlier you mentioned say there are procedures, there are steps where if you follow. We are in the code section 138 of the Constitution. We get the power for at least make complaint to the president if unable for reach out to the Chief Justice.
Yes, it is very, very clear. It is very, very clear. See, constitutional provision 137.8, they tell you, see, if you dissatisfy, let me just read it. It says, if you dissatisfy, you get any dissatisfaction with let me just read 6 when a reference for Justice Halloway. They say, where the question of removing a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature from office has been referred to a tribunal under subsection 5. Subsection 5C, the president should set up a tribunal in consultation with the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. And the Judicial and Legal Service Commission now in the advice the president for take a decision. You understand? It say suspend a judge performing his function either by if the judge gets mental issue or any form of misconduct. It say, but when it comes to the Honorable Chief Justice, you dey report the Honorable Chief Justice by petition to whom? The president.
So in this case, we also see a letter within the media where Justice Halloway been writes this complaint where they talk about, because they make mention say unconstitutionally the Chief Justice like be done they removing assignments them from him. More or less they feel like you know even they work again, because according to what we see in the media we come out na the media, it don't they make them small complaint here. You know they get the essential service at a point. They say been sick, it been want in allowance, then refuse for game. It also make a allegation inside that same letter the way we see public for say the Chief Justice don't they pull in work in hand assignments that we supposed forget or we be don't they get. It remove all from we make a right letter, also it copy the president, it copy the Chief Justice and so many other people, about 18 different people that we copying that letter. Was that not enough if that letter reached to the Chief Justice for say this issue now in don't they go on, if they go for fuel they know the game, if they go for other essentials then we entitled to they know the game. Is that not enough a complaint to the Chief Justice, or you not been see the letter?
The letter was addressed to the Chief Justice. You understand? You see, what is legally wrong or what is administratively wrong is wrong. There is no way out of empathy, sympathy, or public interest you can make it right except the due process.
So
you have the waiting wrong. I've told you, section 140 subsection 1 say the Judicial and Legal Service Commission day for address, for advice the Chief Justice on the administrative function. Now, that letter, if not been me, I would have addressed that letter to the chairman of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, of which the Chief Justice is the chairman. But when you address, yes, when you address him, the Chief Justice is bound to summon the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. They discuss that issue, and there and then they would have advised the Chief Justice if actually his allegations are true. We are saying again, I'm coming.
When you start for talk, you say because we go for in essential services, then ask him for go ask the Chief Justice.
Allegedly.
So it writes to the Chief Justice, like you said, just don't confirm.
No, allegedly.
So complaint say, these are the issues. I went for my essential services, they no give me.
I think let us just make them back again. We say we are institution. You get procedures. You understand? Where you follow for request. Somebody now will just grab and go to the accountant, go say, I need 20 million. No, then go say either the head or the procurement or this for sign before final loan and make disbursement. Favor cannot breach due process. Affiliation cannot breach due process.
But these are entitlements.
I'm coming. The very constitution will make provision for entitlements, you understand, and gratuity. We make conditions of service for judges. It is the very constitution that I have referenced. Say, by virtue of this, I didn't say it. When you watch the letter, there is a constitutional provision, and I'm saying by virtue of the provision in the constitution, it says if you have issues and complain with the Chief Justice, you come through petition to the president. You understand? And if you have, let us say, if it comes to the worst, if you have administrative concern against the Chief Justice, you write to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. I can read it. No, it doesn't matter. I can read it for you here. Let us go to 140. You understand? It's the very constitution where we the reference now we all the play with here. It say, there shall be established Judicial and Legal Service Commission, which shall advise the Chief Justice in the performance of his administrative functions. It's a constitutional provision. I'm coming. It's a constitutional provision. Then it says, then people there, you get the Chief Justice as chairman, you get the most senior judge of the Court of Appeal, you have the Solicitor General, then you get two people from the Bar Association, and you get the head of the Public Service Commission, and you also get two people who are non-lawyers. You understand?
So on which grounds we then suspend the Supreme Court judge? On which grounds?
Okay, now
because there was a tribunal where they don't set for follow up with the issue and investigate. But of course, when we've been talk with El Cas the last time, we be find it very difficult for get the grounds at which he was suspended.
Okay, now let us look at the provision. You understand? 6. It is stated because in the letter, section 137, subsection 6, it is stated in the letter. And 137, subsection 6, it is stated on Lawyer Society's letter. Let us look at it at the principal thing. You understand? It says, where the question of removing a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature has been referred to a tribunal under subsection 5. Subsection 5, they say, if the Judicial and Legal Service Commission represent the Chief Justice, that advise the Chief Justice, then they say, the President acts in consultation with the Judicial Service Commission. That is what the President referenced. Then on it, they say, any short suspension at any time can be revoked by the President and shall at any time cease to have effect if the tribunal recommended. You understand? Recommends to the President. You understand? But it tells you once a decision of removing a judge, there is two ways. One, if the judge has a mental issue or illness,
we're not tired but removing and
no, it acts on suspension. I'm telling you that it is two-way. You they get that letter. One, if a judge is sick or has a mental issue, you the suspend or remove or whatever. But the other side, for misconduct, you the suspend them. So what is stated there is for misconduct. What is the misconduct is what we don't know. And it is that misconduct that is subjected to investigation, and which I don't know. You understand? Maybe it could not be related or unrelated to the letter which Justice Allan sent.
All right, Moses, we'll come back to you shortly. Let me just bring Bami in. I see on our self-done poll on our own position. Also, on the call for the reinstatement of Justice Halloway. But firstly, based on waiting Moses from the Judiciary, don't explain just now how you go describe the whole thing will transpire between that of Justice Halloway and the CJ. Well, perhaps with the suspecting and lead to the suspension, because there is no specific reason where both letters and where we see come out as to waiting make the president don't suspend them, then just say misconduct. How you go describe the whole situation?
Thank you very much, Mabel. I want to make certain things clear, with the greatest respect to the PRO of the Judiciary. All of the things same way don't say so. I mean, not to the proper spirit of the law as stated in the Constitution. All right. A mention, I have to address this. A mention, see, if a judge gets any issue with the Chief Justice, if or come by petition. That is totally outrightly wrong. The position of Justice Halloway is not for the removal of the Chief Justice. The issue of petition, now when you want to remove the Chief Justice, he has a complaint, say, the Chief Justice don't withhold ABC, XYZ. This is a complaint. It is not for the removal. So we're overstretching waiting Justice Halloway intend for do. He go to master and registrar, he say, then get instruction, the Chief Justice say no for pay. And all of these things when they talk, so these are entitlements. The salaries. And they mention, say, oh, then get procedure. What is the procedure in paying a judge a monthly salary? We've been done, they happen all along. Where at this time now you say, go talk to the Chief Justice. A salary, monthly salary. Goes to inferior cheats, where I should say it's something that he gets monthly too. You refer him back to the Chief Justice. And for making them say, oh, if he be want for do anything, na petition, if a petition to the president. No, Justice Halloway has not said, I want to remove the Chief Justice. He has said, I am complaining of some infractions of the provisions of section 137, subsection 138.3 rather, right? He say, now then thing then they complain of, we don't infringe on me entitlement, me right as a human and as a judge of the Supreme Court. Right. Now, you don't come, you don't say, this man don't put na social media. In fact, there is no evidence whether Naim post this thing on social media. There is no evidence. If they have that evidence, let them put it before the public and we will address it. There is no evidence. It is just assumption that there are several people copied in that letter. Okay, this is the man we complain. The very first thing we think Lawyer Society thinks ought to have been done, now for consider the man in complaint. So now the judiciary, then they tell we say, the man in complaint not necessary again. It not necessary or it not need any attention. A judge of the highest court in this country. It not necessary because we see on social media. And I would dare again to say, this not a judge where they appoint yesterday. We're not aware of the internal processes. He has been a Supreme Court judge for the longest of time. Right? And he know the internal processes. There is the Judicial Ethics Committee. There is the Code of Conduct for Judicial Officers of 2005, they cannot tell us that Justice Halloway, a judge of the Supreme Court, know the internal processes, exhaust the internal processes. So if this man don't do all the thing, don't address, he mentioned also again, say, then they tell us, say, let it go meet the Chief Justice. Letter is a mode of communication. You cannot say, because then tell me, say, oh, when you go to the Accountant General, he say no, or the accountant, na the judiciary, he say go meet the Chief Justice. Go to the master and register, he say go meet the Chief Justice. So he not go get physical meeting with them. A letter is a mode of communication, and the letters are addressed to the Chief Justice. What would have been good for us is for the Chief Justice to have addressed that. If the judge don't write you a letter, this is something we believe could have been handled between them. Not judge to judge, the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court judge. But even we, as lawyer society, when we saw the letter from Justice Halloway, in fact, that necessitates we now for coming. When we saw the letter from Justice Halloway, we look and say, there are grave allegations in this letter on the office of the Chief Justice and the high office. And living up to we mandate for let we participate in good governance and protection for the rule of law and democracy, we write a letter to the Chief Justice, the Lawyer Society, on the 22nd of August. Justice Halloway's first letter was dated on the 11th of August. Or is dated 11th of August. We wrote a letter to the Chief Justice on the 22nd. Say, my Lord Chief Justice, kindly address the allegations there. We go give you an essential balance of the story, because we know they na the judiciary, we all know they, right? One party don't state all of these. Let us hear from you. We were not dignified with any response. They say the Chief Justice, they out. But with the advent of technology, the Chief Justice no need for the law courts building for address letters. So, I mean, you get many ways for sending letters to them. You get many ways for reply to letter or give instruction. After the 22nd, we did a follow-up letter. Say, okay, sometime by reason of him schedule, he's busy, he get too many things na his shelf or in table. So let us write another letter. On the 5th of September, we wrote a follow-up letter referencing our letter of 22nd August. Say, my Lord Chief Justice, we refer to that we letter day, the 22nd. We'll ask you, say, we don't see all the allegations there around the office. Do you reply to this? So we go able for take a position where we're not going to be biased. We even go further in that letter, say, if you not feel compelled for right way, let's say, yes, you know a big man, you know, a high office, you know, for right way, do you give we an appointment? Let us come and meet with you in the chambers of the Chief Justice, so that we can get your own side of this. We were not replied to. No reply. As at the day, what they talk so now, no reply. Then we can't hear you now say, then go to suspension. Now, even the suspension where they refer to, first of all, the section where they quote, which is 137, section 137, subsection 6. Now, the crucial question we everybody for ask is, was there or is there a recommendation by the tribunal, right, for the removal, or the Judicial and Legal Service Commission for the removal of Justice Halloway? We not get any fact on that. Now let me read subsection 6. It says we come to suspension. The section within quote na the letter we suspend Justice Halloway. It says, where the question of removing a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature from office has been referred to a tribunal under subsection 5. Where the question of removing a judge has been referred to a tribunal under subsection 5, then the president may suspend. So it is only when a question of removing a judge arises that the president may suspend. Are they telling us that there has been the question that therefore pull Justice Halloway when he is the complainant, now he make complaints come. Then now una go, una say una they remove him, una go suspend him because the suspension is incidental to a removal. Let them tell us that.
Outside the gap for the in all of this,
we believe, say, the tribunal must first have been set up for investigate the judge before suspension. There is nothing in the public domain where they should say there has been a tribunal before the suspension. So then says,
are they misinterpreting this section of the Constitution?
Yes, we believe.
When that part they then believe so
Yes.
they ride on for
yes, we must say
suspender.
we have the considered view that the provision of the Constitution was not followed. Was not followed. There ought to have been a tribunal set up before they investigate the judge before you can suspend. And even this section 6 say when the removal, so let them tell we say,
yes.
oh, the issue of removal now has arisen.
Yes,
now I make them suspend the
Food
judge.
quotes now the same section of the Constitution 137 subsection 6.
Yes.
But I think the aspect of the interpretation is a little bit different from what you're saying and what Moses is saying.
Me don't read them. Make Moses tell we now as the spokesman for the judiciary say the question of removing Justice Halloway been do arise and the middle refer to a tribunal before the president suspend them.
In based on waiting Bamido explain, this particular provision of the Constitution quoted in the letter from State House and that of the Commission for the Lawyer Society, una seem for misinterpret that provision. There must have been a tribunal where recommend in removal we make the president forget power for suspend them.
No,
that's ever happened.
No, that is not what Bami is saying.
That is what
I'm calling. Are you saying no? Are you saying? Let me just get it clear.
Yes.
Are you saying the tribunal now they recommend for in suspension?
I say when the question of removing a judge, suspension
fine.
only they come when you want to remove the judge.
Fine. Okay, now let us go
When
back.
you want to remove the judge.
I'm coming, Bami. I'm
So
coming.
has that question
I'm coming.
arisen?
Let us get.
And has it been referred to a tribunal before?
So let us.
All anything and therefore happen before the president suspend.
No, they can.
Yes, that is what the Constitution
Okay.
says.
Let us look at the letter for the president from the president first. Yeah, for the public we know. You see, pursuant to the provision of section 137(6) of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 6 of 1991, and acting in accordance with the advice of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission at a meeting held on the 5th of September 2025, I write to convey His Excellency the President hereby suspends you as judge of the Superior Court of Judicature with immediate effect until the outcome of a disciplinary tribunal instituted to investigate your conduct. This is the letter from the president. Yes. So the president write this letter in reference this section 136 we did talk about. Now let us go to the whole of 136. The president didn't say 136 A or B, you understand, but 136 reference also subsection 5 of 137, you understand, and subsection 5 because it say and wherein it say where the question of removing. So obviously you will know that with the setting up of a tribunal, you understand, with the aspect of suspension, the ultimate aim of that is not for Pulam. It is very clear.
So that means the ultimate aim, like you said,
no, as the Constitution. I'm coming as the Constitution. Now let me read. It's not on me. The C.
Not for investigate.
Wait, Bami. I have said maybe the thing where we did bother about fear or not, because even in the letter you said his salary was withheld. No, he said there was an attempt allegedly by the CJ. He said there was an attempt in his letter. But let us go to this provision back. It say, where in the question of removing, it's very clear. You understand? Not of suspending, but removing a judge from an office. You understand? It say a tribunal has to be set. And once the tribunal is set, the president has the right for suspend, may suspend.
In this case, Moses, this is the procedure leading to the removal of Justice Halloway. It clear from what you just
said. Of a judge. Any judge. Now let us go.
This is not the procedure. We don't start now to remove Justice Halloway.
Yes, and let us go
to investigating.
No, I'm coming. No. When you I'm coming. Let's make it clear, Bami. When you go to a tribunal, you will be investigated. You have your defense, and you have the prosecution team. You know, if your defense outweigh that of the prosecution, then obviously you will be set free and you will be reinstated. You understand? But we look at the suspension. Let us not go to the tribunal first, but let us go to subsection 5. This provision 137 subsection 6 make reference to subsection 5. It says, if the Judicial and Legal Service Commission represent that advice the president that the question of removing a judge. You understand? So in other words, the action, that is why the letter of the president reference subsection 5. 137 say, now upon the advice, it is this provision of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. And we have said the Judicial and Legal Service Commission is in section 140 subsection 1. You understand? But if you go, it says removing a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature other than the Chief Justice. Now, we learned that there is an other letter written to the Chief Justice alleging that his intention is to remove the Chief Justice from office. We learned. You understand? But that will be investigated by the commission. So that comes by petition.
Clear, Moses, 1 minute. Once you make clear, this particular tribunal way then set up, is it to investigate him for misconduct or a procedure and process leading to his removal? Because all the provisions them, where you don't explain now leading to the removal of a judge, where in this case Justice Halloway has been suspended. So is the tribunal for investigating his misconduct or removing him?
But we should know this. Let us go to subsection 4 of 137. Yeah, and that answers your question. It says, subsection 4, it says, subject to the provision of this constitution, a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature, that is, be it a High Court judge, that is, be it a Court of Appeal or a Supreme Court. It says a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature may be removed from office. May be removed from office only for inability to perform his function of his office, whether arising from infirmity of body or mind or statement of misconduct.
Have you
so
it is misconduct?
Well, that is why we have the tribunal.
It is after that.
I'm coming. That is why we have the tribunal. I'm saying
conducting an investigation. And you conclude that yes, there is misconduct by this judge. That is when you recommend for his removal. And
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Not gone to that yet. No. There is no conclusion on the investigation of misconduct. Is there any conclusion that Justice Allan has done misconduct?
So
Moses, that is the point.
I think you Moses, yes. The point it's very clear. Yes.
Is it like a Supreme Court judge could be sacked or could be investigated still within our office then put us aside for investigation?
Now the provision in 137(6) say the president may. It is on the mercy of the president for left arm or for suspend arm. When you get anti-corruption cases for ordinary person, then they suspend you. You understand? Because you been in the office, you they influence so many things, so they can say set aside with some certain aspect of salary and certain benefit, but still don't let we investigate you. It happens to everybody.
Moses, we will come back to you shortly. Let me just go on the line and get Abdul Fatoma, when the chief executive for Chadi, because Chadi Safe, we an organization where they work on human rights and the rule of law and all of that, get a position on this whole matter. We join Abdul Fatoma now on the phone for Yeri Denyom position as Chadi. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show, Mr. Fatoma.
Good morning, Lily, and thank you.
Waiting at Chadi position regarding the suspension of Supreme Court Judge Justice Halloway. Waiting on a position here. Hello, Abdul.
Yes, we position very clear in we statement that that particular action is unjust, and we ask that the president get a prerogative, from the Constitution for, revoke that particular thing, because we know it bring a lot of embarrassment to the country, and not only the government or the president, but to the entire country, for a judiciary that's supposed to live up to integrity and bring the bar very lower. They want to distract the public about the serious concerns and abuse of office and human rights violations, according to the judge. As the way he writes, in one of them, he highlights the issues them. The thing about the 1991 constitutions, it creates a lot of challenging issues them when it comes to interpretations. Now, the same Chief Justice, neither the head of the administration for the judiciary as per the Constitution, and the same Chief Justice, now in the chairman for a body we compose for advisor on administrative performance and function. And that composition have been listening to one of our panelists. It totally misled the public that the Bar Association get two representatives. According to the Constitution, the Bar Association get only one representative. Way now the bar they nominate the person and approved by the president. So missing that two people need for camp. Now two non-legal person. It's very clear. The numbers are there. They are very, very clear how that composition say they be. So we need for the give the people there exactly waiting the inside. But then if you look to the section 138.3, where the judge be make mention of, it's mandatory. It says shall nobody, not even not for tamper with any judge in salary or other thing. So sanctioning that alone, you therefore go through due process. So this judge, he first write a letter to the Chief Justice as the head of the administration of the judiciary, not any other person, as the head of the institution, administratively and managerially. So then it copy other people. It also make mention of other side engagements and meetings where other judges hold with the Chief Justice. And he expressed in concern, say, even though the Chief Justice will not be happy, where he tell us some of the things the way he do way wrong in front of the judges then they, but still nothing not happen. So this man not a seek for sympathy like the judiciary they present and through the spokesman. It not a seek for favor. It a request for thing where the Constitution of Sierra Leone give them the right and privilege. Now this we for know. Today it might be this man. Tomorrow it could be any other person, even the one the way the judiciary they send for speak against this man, where this man belongs to the same institution. So that's the irony.
Mr. Fatoma, based on the provisions them where Moses from the Judiciary don't make now the program this morning, don't explain say na lead to the suspension of this judge. All they indicate say now procedures them wouldn't they take for remove a judge. If eventually it reach a stage where then go pull Justice Halloway, waiting this go mean for the judiciary na salon, what it go mean for the justice sector?
I mean, if like we don't ask the office of the president and the governor of Sierra Leone for actually revoke this suspension because we consider it and say unjust, and the government can listen to we don't put a lot of policies, gaps that with government, can reverse the decision. The current local government thing, when they come up publicly say they want divide, we come out and tell them say they not been do consultation, they not get data. That they slow them, and now we don't see them. Don't they go about for whole town hall meetings? So now we don't put restatement yesterday less than 24 hours. We they monitor and we they follow, and like Bami be say, we also be acknowledge the letter where we be copied in. One of the letter among the 3 letter and 2 will be copied in. So one of them will be also respond and write to the Chief Justice for let them administratively look into that issue. And then the judiciary get a habit against reorganization. They know they respond to we. They know they acknowledge with letters, and which we not get any problem. We know how notorious and disrespectful they are when it comes to disrespecting the laws of Sierra Leone. Now we don't put another FOI request to them.
Right.
We still not get any response. So in that habit, we know exactly. But in this particular move, if this man also engaged the head of the administration about in concerns and in plight and raise constitutional provision and also copy the body way for administratively provide advice to the Chief Justice office, and then they say they not notify, go through the right channel, you will begin to get worried if you use not the right channel. If you been go outside of the head of administration where it is answerable to directly, and go directly to the technical committee for let them do something, they ask them back why you not been taken force internally usai una day. So all of these issues, for be a concern. And, we position very clear in we position statement. So we monitor what in government go do and what in government go respond, but we go take them forward more further if at all we see say government agree for acknowledge or respond to some of the serious issues the way we raise for save this country from further embarrassment. So as far as this case is concerned,
Mr. Fatoma, just like you mentioned, say on the situation with regards to the issue I don't point out for call on government for revoke this particular decision, but there has been a tribunal where they don't set for investigate the Supreme Court judge. If it's a government will revoke this particular decision as of now?
Well, the Constitution gives the president that power there. If you read the Constitution, like we make that provision clearly inside we letter, we don't go corner. If you read them, the Constitution gives the president, it not get a mandatory, it get an optional power, where say he may. So it may also come back, because if the president was, in we opinion, if the president was misinformed, illy advised, and they go around and do things, and the president approve them, and letter come up from the office of the president for state they kind about thing, and then there is even this man asks the judiciary for let them set up an ethics committee according to their own code of conduct of 2005, where this year September make that code I think 20 years old. All right? So we believe that say the judiciary need for work within processes and procedure. We don't think say personal hate against people to be displayed. Even they send you for can't talk. This man that they talk against is still one of una. Una not remove it. Now under suspension today.
All right.
So the public need for clearly know waiting they go on. If una set up a tribunal, then una not tell the public whether are the people that will constitute that tribunal, where other tribunals have been set up, with the government the communicator or the judiciary the communicator, clearly whether them constitute the panel and waiting at the terms of reference of them, panel members then of that tribunal. So, but as it is, we get little or none information officially from the government or the judiciary about the full composition and the terms of reference of that tribunal.
All right, many thanks for you joining with this morning. That's now Abdul Fatoma, the chief executive for Chadi, as it be the talk about Chadi their own position regarding this whole issue. Before we come to Bami, I think we could just come back to Moses. This particular tribunal where they do this investigation, then they in operation right now?
Yes, the panel appointed. I will authoritatively tell you, say, we get the Honorable Justice Bangura. Now one of them, we get Mr. Robin Mason, the then DPP, now another person, and we get Francis Gabidon. Yes, so now 3 of them, they have started working on certain things for HOC. We get commencement of this tribunal. You understand? But as Fatoma say in one of his statements, then we make the others and the countenance, and because they have sent in letters request, we will reply to them. You cannot tell us like, say this is what you want. We give you holistic information. The thing is that when you look at the provision, the mercy is at the president. You understand? The president can decide. But it's like a commission of inquiry has been set. Let us go back in 2010. A similar thing has happened with the same judge, you understand. And President Anes Bai Koroma be suspended. A tribunal was set. And he went for something like 5 years, 6 months. But later, he has mercy and he was reinstated. You understand? The issue of the judiciary was, we say, an internal process. You know, the circulation of that letter warrants for let you respond, let you clear the air. But one thing that I can say, the purpose of misconduct, we cannot pinpoint whether it is on that letter or not. And even the issues raised, you understand, on that letter, it could be mere allegation, you understand, because we haven't got the side of the Honorable Chief Justice, you understand.
People don't they ask why the Chief Justice been fail for respond where it been writes and the letter of complaint
when the Law Society allegedly sent their letter, the Honorable Chief Justice was not in town, you understand, and this letter was making rounds on social media. And Fatoma said one thing, we are of the view that it was only one letter. There are other letters sent by the Honorable. I'm coming. There are other letters.
But in all this, the administration they run, we mean say, if there is something he needs to address, by all possible means, we are able to reach out to him.
So that is what we are saying, that the approach first was a wrongful communication.
The letter, right?
Yes, sending it on social media. You understand? That letter, no, what I'm saying, no, the letter went to social media.
Or it comes from Justice Halloway.
It was not
it's not clear who's end it comes. Because somebody writes, is sent out and copy other people. So at this point, we're not able to establish from who that's illegal kind of the public.
Okay, let's leave that issue of sending to the public. But
what you say na a wrong approach. So we can't leave it.
Listen, why
we can't leave it.
Why it is wrong approach? Once you write a letter and you copy other people from other institutions, it means when you have not used the internal process, because the internal process, it is wherein you write the Honorable Chief Justice, you write the head of the Supreme Court. No, I'm saying you can do internal copy, you understand, but once it goes out of it, and have you read the letter, you understand, and yes, if you've read the letter, you know, we don't want to go into the letter in as much as he has raised these issues, you understand, but we don't want to go into the letter, because if you read the letter, you will pick up the issue of certain things which we think it's not fair.
What's so bad about this letter? Let me just for display the letter. Why should they explain? What's so bad about this letter where it is public, but you know once for let we.
No, but we said it's not the way you should communicate to the Honorable Chief Justice.
How it communicate? What's wrong by the communication way it do?
We have an internal mechanism. Did you talk to the Chief Justice? Or did you write the Chief Justice one-to-one? Like to say, address to the Honorable Chief Justice from Justice Allan without copying anybody.
So that is what you did wrong?
No, yes, it is wrong. First, you did not observe the internal procedure. You understand? Bami knows what I'm talking about, like when we talk about
is there any secrecy in the judiciary?
It's not issue of secrecy.
You write letter,
it is not issue. It is not issue. No, it is not issue. No.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It is not issue.
Relevant people already believe
it is not issue. It is not issue.
So why for be secret?
It is not issue of secrecy.
So why not for copy people? It is issue
of due process. And that is one thing you should know. If somebody in your institution fails to go through a due process, the person will be queried. If an institution fails to observe the due process, that institution, a judicial review, which is a legal remedy, he knows that will be taken against the institution.
But me quickly, Moses, what's the lifespan of the committee where they look into this matter? How long they go for the for?
Well, that will be communicated later, but now we are on they are on the preparation stage. You understand? They have just been appointed before the letter came in. In fact, the two letters came in at the same time, so it's like that is they're on their preparation. But we are pretty sure it deals with somebody who has been suspended. It will be expeditiously dealt with, actually.
Bami, at this stage, based on the constitutional provisions and where Moses don't explain, where clearly they should say they all they lead to removing a judge. If eventually they end up succeeding and remove Justice Halloway, whose message this go send to the justice system in Salon in terms of judicial independence, for example?
Oh, well, in fact, we are very, very much troubled by this kind action and event where this idea unfolds, so right, and. In fact, the third position will take power press statement that if we not allow for judges them forget an avenue for express their grievance by which we see so, because the person will lay complain now they don't turn and say na the offender, the victim is now the offender. If we not uphold the mechanisms, then they for make judges then they able for air out then grievances, we know say it go erode the confidence and it go affect the dispensation or administration of justice in we country, which is a troubling result. If that should happen, we pray God it not happen. Now we say make the government, make the president rather reverse this decision of suspension and then send this matter, they remit them to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. And when they remit them to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, with a further ask, because by the constitutional provision, the composition of that Judicial and Legal Service Commission, now the Chief Justice, now the chairman, he cannot be a judge in his own case. We're further stating that a chairman ought to be appointed because the allegations are against the Chief Justice. So when then they relegate this matter, again to the Judicial Legal Service Commission, we're asking that the Chief Justice be out of it, recuse himself for Sidom as chairman.
On the 11th of September, Justice Halloway writes also a request for formal establishment of a Judicial Ethics Committee for investigate complaint where he make against the CJ.
Yes.
According to Moses, now then different letter the way we don't see. Internally, Justice Halloway is a missam because a copy people them inside this particular letter. For the Lawyer Society, anything the way Justice Halloway miss, he lay complain one, he writes again, he ask for let them set up ethics committee for look inside and complain them. But all of that, we not get a response from the judiciary. The only thing we hear from Moses now is he miss all the internal procedures and they the letter reach public.
As far as we're concerned, we know say there was nothing missed there. There is nothing wrong. These are standard procedure. All of the people where we see copied in that letter, they are stakeholders in this matter. You cannot say, I write to the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is answerable to the President. I copy the President. I copy the Attorney General. What is really, really wrong there? And, you know, let the judiciary tell us. If I'm not done there with a sick for, let them come out and say, in fact, all of them grave allegations they are where Justice Halloway talk about, make so in letter, not true. And we, the public, would be there to say, oh no, Justice Halloway, in fact, we don't see response from the judiciary or the Chief Justice. We say, now ABC XYZ you do, we make them do this to you so. But the judiciary cannot even address that. Now they are saying, now the procedure. Let us as the people know if waiting Justice Allo is saying in letter, na true or not true. And we will go back and review our position and say, no, Justice Halloway, you do bad. Now I make them do you this. We go there now for judge, but now they are evading all of those allegations. They are saying, oh no, procedure. Let them tell us if those allegations are right or wrong.
Moses is very strong on the aspects of the Supreme Court judge now go through internal procedures then before, the letter they go out to the public. And that's one of his strong grounds then where he raised up about the Supreme Court judge not follow the internal procedures before taking that decision.
Me go clearly say it would be fair if we able forget the judging safe for comment on that. Right? Since they're making heavy weather out of the procedure and all, but let them get the judge for make the judge can make and clear whether he exhausted the internal processes. And you cannot again fault the judge because there is no evidence. We rely on that. There is no evidence for sure say, now the judge now send I'm out. There are many people copied in that letter. It could have been exactly. You cannot continue to say na the judge, na the judge, na the judge.
Waiting with the display currently. This na the people away a copy na the letter also even writes again the request for set up an ethics committee for look at the concerns them where it is against the Chief Justice. Then list of about 18 people and where a copy na this letter. Anyone did the way the judiciary believe say. Not for being copied now this letter will go public so.
Let's get this again clear. Institutional procedure is institutional procedure. And what Bami is missing here is the fact that the essence of the tribunal, I still made it clear. Maybe the tribunal, no, they can't even focus on what Justice Halloway did with reference to that letter. It could be, maybe it could be something else. We don't know. The president didn't state it in his letter. So just misconduct. Our internal procedure and best practice for any institution. It is not on one hit, you go to the public. Even in liberty here, it is not something that is acceptable. The leadership will frown at it.
No,
I'm coming.
So not to the one
He did
if you don't write first for draw the attention.
Well, this is where we are missing the point.
The CJ
the letter that went. Let me just explain. Waiting, we understand in the judiciary. When he asked the accountants for in allowance or whatever is entitlement, the accountant say, can you please speak to the Chief Justice? You understand? When he go for fiel, then say, no, we cannot give you fiel. And he came to the master, and the master say, talk to the CCJ, according to a letter. You understand? We are saying, because when he talked about salary, then Olan, that is not true. It is not even stated in his own letter. It is not stated there. He said there is an attempt. And these are all allegations against the Chief Justice. Now, I am saying with the informations there, so from 2 subordinates to the Chief Justice, you understand, he did not make any effort to talk to the Chief Justice or neither to any senior judges. And he did not write, I'm coming, he did not write personal letter to him and the Chief Justice, where I be feel see if that letter they become, this letter will go in public domain. If it be done back up by that letter, I don't know if you understand my point. If it be done back up, say, with reference to this letter where I be right, you personally, which you did not respond or you did not address, you understand? I'm now writing, copying the people they ask you.
So now the only crime than the way it commits for the judiciary.
I say, I don't know waiting at the issue why a commission of inquiry has been set. We don't know. We have to wait for investigation. Mind you, the judicial, the tribunal now investigates if they can investigate. So let Bami no Miss Ria say therefore investigate first. If they can investigate misconduct
from on our procedures then within, waiting on they refer to misconduct.
If a due process is not followed, is a misconduct.
Like this letter.
If a due process, you understand? No, it could be. No, it's no. Wait a minute. It could be. It could be. You see, I don't want to let you peg this thing. Say, I still repeat. Say, the purpose of the tribunal waiting that they can investigate. Then just say misconduct. I don't want you to peg it to this letter. I have told you. I have told you that there are other letters that came in.
Moses, the whole thing with an investigate na misconduct. On our procedures, them waiting on a refer to as misconduct.
Then they boku.
Ranging from Osai to Osa.
Then they boku. Even you conduct in the courts. You understand? Statements you utter in the court. Your association with clients.
Then allegations against them.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying. You say waiting at the misconduct thing in the organization. We get boku now. They tell you, and I'm not saying that is the purpose of setting up the tribunal. But let us wait for the tribunal. You see, what can happen at this country? People can want the cat before the horse, and I've never seen a situation wherein you get the cat before the horse. Always now the horse the day before the cat. And you made one statement, say if they fight, if they succeed, anything what we do is within the law. The judiciary is subjected to the law. If anybody is suspended, if anybody is removed, if a magistrate is suspended, if Moses is suspended, you understand? It has to go in accordance with the law. You understand? If it is not,
it go in accordance with the law, the constitution, the provision that all in this case when I use now processes them for remove.
In the letter sent by the president for suspension, is there not put any constitutional provision?
The provision that always you self read inside today. You explain and the state and clearly send a procedures them for removal.
A judge.
Yes.
A judge. Yes. It's a constitutional provision.
Let me just read the messages where the viewers then don't send Moses. We go come back to Una for respond. This very first one we'll go look at from the Facebook page. Macmillan Timothy Carter, they say the judiciary failed us during the unconstitutional removal of former vice president and suspension of the auditor general, and now we see no difference in the case of Justice Allan Halloway. Each silence sets a dangerous precedent that keeps eroding the democracy and public trust. It's a shame when the very guardians of the law allow the constitution to be undermined.
The next one they come up from Fode Sheikh Sila. It said the most difficult situation we find ourselves in Sierra Leone is this. People are
more attached to their political party than the truth to move Sierra Leone. The same Justice Halloway was suspended by the APC government in 2010. None of them exhibits concern, but today we see them talking.
This one say if truly the Judicial and Legal Service Commission was or had already had, all right, I'll go over them again. It say if truly the Judicial and Legal Service Commission had already met and made a recommendation, why was that not made public at the time? The only official communication to the public received was a suspension letter from the president. Nothing about a period commission decision. This raises serious concerns of transparency because justice must not be done but must also be seen to be done. When the process is hidden and the public only hears about the outcome after a suspension letter, it looks like executive action leading the process rather than due process guiding executive. That is exactly why citizens are concerned, because such secrecy weakens confidence in the presidency and the judiciary.
Uncle,
they say the issue of both the Auditor General and Justice Halloway has plainly exposed the people of Sierra Leone that this current judicial system is not independent. How do you want us, the people, to have confidence in this noble institution?
Alaji FS Cameron on the Facebook page, they say, my brother, if you really understand how the law works, you may tend to understand that where your right ends is where another person's right begins. If Sam was sacked or removed from the party, it's made it easier for the judiciary to hand down judgment against Sam. You can only be a vice president, an existing member of a political party. Sam lost membership of the APC and he was removed from office.
The next one comes from Alaji. Say, our judicial system in Sierra Leone is very corrupt and have a bunch of criminals. Even the biggest opposition party, APC, don't trust the judiciary. We all know what happened in the past elections.
The last one I got read before we them, it say it's clear the spokesman is struggling to defend the president's suspension letter because the whole process looks arbitrary. If due process was truly followed, the Judicial and Legal Service Commission's recommendation should have been made public before the suspension, not after. Hiding behind technicalities only makes it clear that executive action came first, and it's exactly what undermines both transparency and constitutional order. Just a bonus, then we come to...
Yes, I'll take this last one so far. Now we Facebook page. It is say, maybe please ask the PRO. I think this one not too clear so far.
Let me just come over to Bami. The viewers then seem for the follow the issue to a point where technical thing the way them raise, where I go lekle on a to share and throw lights on before we wrap up, where they suggest say if truly that commission they been sidom, the public for don't know before we just can't hear it from the letter we come on at the president's office, say commission been there and they don't advise say this man for gone suspension. What do you think about this?
I mean, that is our position. We have said that they don't put a mention about putting the cat before the horse, not the horse before the cat. Then don't put the cat before the horse. Clearly, because I don't challenge the judiciary through Mr. Moses here. See, let them show we the letter and the date of the establishment of the tribunal. We look into the said misconduct of Justice Halloway for make they recommend a removal will lead to the suspension. This is not the process. Somebody said to have done some misconduct. What the provisions of the Constitution say is that if they represent, say, there's a misconduct for remove the judge, would they get a tribunal? They are up to now what they talk. In fact, from yesterday, we don't depend this. So let us see that letter. We set up the tribunal. Because now the tribunal go don't look into the misconduct and then say, now, okay, by waiting we don't see from this judging case, he ought to be removed from office now. and upon that recommendation, the president would suspend. Now we see a suspension letter. Nothing about any determination of the conduct of the judge. Nothing. Today, I will challenge him to show us any letter we set up that tribunal before then, and then look into the misconduct of the judge before the president can. Before the president can suspend the judge. So we're saying that they have not followed the processes. They have not followed the provision of the Constitution, and that is why we are calling and maintaining that that suspension be reversed and the right thing be done.
Even the viewers, they ask, say, if school commission being, they will be the look into any matter. If we don't the public before the office of the president, then they advise the president now say, suspend this man. This commission, waiting make nobody not be hearing nothing but waiting to happen. Now just the results we see where they advise the president.
Let me ask Bami again. He has been a lawyer for a very long time. If the Judicial and Legal Service Commission reports since you've become a lawyer, do not ever publish them.
No, this is a
I'm coming. I'm coming. Just Bami, can we have yes?
It's not a yes or no.
Well, let me just continue.
Every circumstance is unique in its own case.
No, let me just continue.
Every circumstance
I know the answer
unique.
is no.
So the public now is asking.
Okay, now listen,
Bami, the public is asking.
Bami, wait, it is clear.
Answer the public.
Bami, no, I'm coming. Bami, you've made it clear with your long service as a lawyer. Yeah, you have not seen a meeting or a report of a Judicial and Legal Service Commission. That is clear. But let me just say this.
That doesn't mean this should not be done.
Bami, wait.
Not put words in my mouth.
Okay, Bami, wait.
Yeah.
You know, saying I'm a man, wait. Hold on with this thing. Judicial and Legal Service Commission met on the 5th. In fact, when they had that meeting, some of us were around, you understand, but never have been in the judiciary for over 10 years, you understand. Have never, even my very self, have never seen a report of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. Let me just tell you one thing. No, I don't know the issues. The Judicial and Legal Service Commission, the judiciary, you only have the CJ as a representative. The Judicial, I'm not the Judicial and Legal Service Commission employs me. You understand? They recruit. Obviously they met and they advised the president. I cannot tell you because I'm not a member of that body.
You're speaking here on behalf of the judiciary.
I'm speaking on behalf of the judiciary.
So
yes, the CJ and the judge. So now whether if they are questioning, you have the executive secretary to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. You know, I told Bami one thing, that the Lawyer Society, if you are coming out with a press release, you have to move from your comfort zone. You understand? We said a letter was sent that these people have been appointed. I even named them. You had yesterday and today to ensure you contact the office.
Where the public sent when this make so many people.
I am not a member of the Judicial and Legal.
The Judiciary because of some of the issues here.
Then
they doubt now say if truly a commission been sidom, the public for don't know before the result.
Do you think the president's reference on a meeting on the 5th, do you think the president will write a letter and reference without having a report?
So now that's
that's a tribunal.
And that's make the
meeting of 5th September, was that a tribunal?
It was not a tribunal. It was a The setting up of a tribunal should be in accordance with section 137(5)(a). That is why the president says in consultation with the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. No, even section 137(6) reference subsection 5. It tells you.
Now that's why they ask you earlier, say if any secrecy there, Now the work we una they do, because if you say for
the Judicial and Legal Service Commission is not the Judiciary.
If you say for over 10
years, the Judicial and Legal Service Commission is not the Judiciary.
You don't then at the Judiciary. You not ever. You not ever.
Even
Moses, you say for over 10 years, you don't then at the Judiciary. You don't ever see reports from this commission. Waiting at this secrecy way there, when they pull reports, nobody knows important. Because the Judiciary gets not the actions. Not the actions. The Judiciary gets representation at this commission. So like if then they discuss anything, they investigate anything, like you and the spokesman where they come to the public for the
I think you are also missing the point. Now let's go back. Let's go back to 2010. Was the report of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, which advised President Anesbai Kuruma to set up a tribunal for the same judge, was it in public domain?
So now I
am asking you. No, was it in public domain?
Speak to that because
you can go to the press secretary.
No.
Oh my God!
Moses, is that a best practice?
It is a best practice, obviously.
Why?
Do you think institutions don't have certain things that should not go out in public?
But these are public.
All of your meetings. You are a public institution.
These are public
all of your meetings.
Now people are where they work for the public.
15 years ago, you not been there as the position where you cannot tell what happened in 2010 around the suspension of Justice Allan B.
The advice of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, that advice letter or report, was it in public?
We both cannot tell.
So
you
Moses,
cannot tell
but I'm telling you, it was never in public.
Moses, as to the wrap up,
say that.
because of the question where the viewers and send, what thing you go say regarding the question where them put say they not believe say any commission be even sit down.
Okay, we want to tell the viewers then. See, the Judicial and Legal Service Commission gets a confidential a executive secretary, yeah, and by virtue of the right to access of information, you can get that information to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, the executive secretary of that commission, or you go to State House, you have the press secretary, you can have that document. But I'm not part of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. I'm part of the Judiciary. But if the president can reference a meeting on the 5th that I'm acting upon the advice of a letter that was sent to me based on that meeting, the outcome of that meeting on the 5th, then the press secretary will be able to supply you with that information, and the executive secretary will be able to explain, to supply with that information. We should stop this armchair, this thing. You from afar, you write, you do certain things. So if it is not there, even Bami, they can go there.
Okay,
Bami is a senior man. He can go there and get the information.
Bami, so as we wrap up this edition of the Breakfast Show from the Lawyers Society, whose message una get for the presidency and every other person where they deal with this particular issue?
We message to the president that, of course, we know say the president may have acted on advice because the president, yes, is not a lawyer. And by the constitutional provision, the president relies on the advice of the Judicial Legal Service Commission, the representation. We think, say, he was not properly advised for take the action of suspension. And now that the public cry around this, and a president where they uphold the principles of democracy by listening to the people, I would think the Lawyer Society thinks this is a decision that should be reversed, and then he send the matter to the appropriate bodies for make them determine them, and then they can take action. I mean, we don't make it clear. See, a judge can be suspended. Not to say we're saying a judge cannot be suspended. It can be suspended, but the due process and the provisions of the constitutions ought to be followed. Of the constitution ought to be followed, and that's what they say. We did hope say it go reverse this decision, and then the appropriate steps be taken for determining the issues, and then they act accordingly.
Alright, well, many thanks we una join with this morning at this edition of the Breakfast Show. That's now Claude Bame Davis. He come out from the Lawyers Society and it be the states and position. I also then the call for the reinstatement of Justice Halloway and investigation into the allegations that we make against the Chief Justice and also for let them follow the due process for suspend a judge. We will also get Moses Cameron at the studio, the official spokesperson for and instead be the made the case on behalf of the judiciary regarding the whole issue on ground. Obviously, we will continue to monitor this issue and go bring on updates as and when we get her. One for so many thanks. So on always watch, share, and send on a message. You wanna read the message? Apologies, but we go through them obviously later in the day. I want for so many thanks on and wishing all a happy weekend. Now Musa Saukroma make this edition of the Breakfast Show meeting on behalf of the whole team na the production. Have a good weekend.
And many thanks to you watch and share the program, continue for sending we message and of course continue for watch Liberty Television. As always throughout the day we continue for sending we content them. Many thanks to you to watch the show. Till meet again for another edition of the Breakfast Show. My name is Al Hassan Koma. Get yourself a pleasant weekend.
Develop city, then clean, all clean city, develop.
This is Yvonne Akisoya, Mayor of Freetown. And today, I want to talk to Freetonians about sanitation. We objective, transform Freetown, transforming lives. We not go able to achieve them if we all not join hands. Freetown City Council get role, but every Freetonian also get responsibility. Let we start first with the fact say FCC with the sweep 110 major streets every single morning from Monday to Saturday. But when we don't sweep the streets, if Freetonians then come and they continue for heap dirty in the street, they make the place look fine. Now make we get them litter bins them. The yellow bins we wanna go see around. So when you waka, you drink from your water bottle, your water plastic, you eat your packets on tin. Not even a ground where you done. Make sure say you put on one of them bins then they. That litter bin they. There for you host dirty. Mean say you for pack you host dirty, you can pin her next to the bins them. Not to the idea that. Not give you host dirty to them one way the Allah say clean salon, clean salon. No say that dirty way they collect now you host. Get for Karango na the one of the two official sites. They can go Kissy Bomber, they can go King Tom Bomber. It turns so it left on a ground. And now we council get a problem, but you self get a problem because now front somebody else in Domot, your own dirty don't end up. So what you for do with your host dirty? We get the one then a council where we don't certify. So then approved waste providers. Then they on tricycles, some of them they a vehicle. You will get host, you will get business, you in a hospital, institution, everybody for make sure say their waste collected by an approved FCC waste collector. We get the tricycle groups, we get the companies. So you go see them around. We engage with them on a regular basis. And what we go do now as we come into this new year. Now for make sure say FCC stand behind them. For you, for no side and day, and for let themselves go to you, so that we no go get a gap. When you heap dirty in a gutter, it end up na Lumley Beach, Toke Beach, all the tourism ambition where we get for the city, we lost that potential there. FCC, they spend boku money pan dirty business, the fuel, the labor, the vehicle maintenance, the spare parts, the night operations. The illegal dump site clearing where we get for the do every now and then. All that boku money. I'm not going to say we're not going to spend anything, but we're going to reduce some. If Freetonians then do the right thing. Because we're not going to get for go clear illegal dump sites. we not gonna get for sweep as many streets and spend as long. So if we reduce that money will be spent now on dirty business, we go able put some on development. We all want for improving municipal schools. We want improving markets them. We want for let we see new developments at the city. That money will be used for dirty business. You and while we all make up we mind. Pay.
You are watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.